一体何をそんなに騒ぎ立てているんだ。本当にくだらない。全米が悲鳴を上げていますが、これは過剰反応だと。ベースボールファンの皆様、緊急事態です。現在、全米中が深い悲しみと極度の不安に包まれています。なんと、我らが、野球の神様、大谷翔平選手が、左膝の持続的な痛みを理由に先発登板を回避し、オールスターゲームの出場を辞退するという信じられないニュースが飛び込んできました。ドジャースの球団発表によると、左膝の炎症が確認されたとのことです。幸いにも手術の必要はなく、膝の水を抜き、炎症を抑える注射を打つだけの医療的介入にとどまるそうです。彼は後半戦も引き続き二刀流の打者側、指名打者、DH として出場を続けます。今回のオールスター欠場はあくまで予防的措置に過ぎません。しかし、左打ちのバッターにとって左膝は、強烈なスイングの際に全体重と回転の巨大な負荷を受け止める、軸足です。決して軽視できる問題ではありません。ヤング賞レースへの壊滅的な打撃。この、他の惑星から来た生物の欠場は、オールスターゲームにとって取り返しのつかない大損失です。アーロン、ジャッジやフアン、ソト、ブライス、ハーパー、マイク、トラウトといったスーパースターたちが最も語り合いたいと熱望する相手が姿を消すのですから。さらに残酷なのは、これがヤング賞レースへ与える影響です。この登板回避により、大谷選手は賞の選考条件となる162の規定投球回に到達することがほぼ絶望的となりました。タリク、スクーバルやクリストファー、サンチェスといった耐久性のあるライバルたちに対して、圧倒的に不利な状況に追い込まれてしまったのです。
And we get this weird Shohei Ohtani news to kind of round out the first half as we get ready for All-Star coverage. This from Katie Wu on X. Shohei Ohtani has been scratched from tonight's start with, quote, continued irritation in his left knee. The Dodgers announced he will not play in the All-Star game. Some context, Shohei is going to be okay to participate as a two-way player in the second half. The left knee is called irritation. So scratched from the start today. You know, the no All-Star game thing, I think, is the big takeaway here. He's going to be okay. He will be in the lineup as DH, just not going to pitch tonight. I guess we all kind of held our breath thinking, oh, man, no All-Star game? What does that mean in the second half? But no All-Star game, that's a big enough deal in and of itself. We want to see Shohei on Tuesday.
I mean, he's the greatest baseball player this sport has ever seen. And on the mound this year, he's taking it to another level. And
ファンの多角的な反応と球団の思惑。この絶体絶命の状況に対し、世界中のファンからは様々な声が上がっています。球団の曖昧な介入という言葉に不安を覚え、私の膝を使ってくれと祈るファン。オールスターは単なる商業的なエキシビションであり、地区首位を独走する今はプレーオフに向けて休養すべきだと支持する現実的なファン。ワーカホリックな彼を休ませ、生まれたばかりの大双子と妻との貴重な時間を過ごさせるために、球団が膝の痛みを口実にして強制的に休養させたのだという推測。さあ、この波乱の展開を、球界のレジェンドたちはどう分析するのでしょうか。この絶体絶命とも言える状況について、レジェンドに伺いましょう。ビッグ、パピ、こと、デビッド、オルティス氏です。打者の視点から、この左膝の炎症をどう分析しますか。今夜のニュースを聞いて、本当に心臓が止まるかと思ったぜ。だが、左打者として塁上を掃除し続けてきた俺から言わせてもらおう。スイングのメカニズムを考えれば、これは極めて深刻な問題だ。翔平の左膝は、左バッターにとってまさに、軸足、なんだよ。スイングの際、その軸足にはどれほどの負荷がかかるのでしょうか。スイングを指導する瞬間、巨大な体重がすべて後ろ足に集中する。そして、その軸足の上で極めて激しく回転するんだ。もし膝に持続的な痛みがあれば、どうなると思う？打球速度112マイルの特大アーチを放つことなど絶対に不可能なんだ。なるほど。だからこそ、オールスター欠場は不可避だったと。不可避どころか、俺は、最高じゃないか、と言いたいね。所詮は商業的なエキシビションに過ぎない。第二子が誕生したばかりの若い父親に無理をさせるべきじゃない。たった2打席のために大陸を横断するのは馬鹿げている。という声もあります。全くその通りだ。そんな無意味な長距離移動は割に合わない。 彼は家族と共に完全な休養を取り、痛みを感知させるべきなんだ。エネルギーを 100% 充電する権利が彼には十分にあるんだよ。幸いにも、後半戦も指名打者、DH としての出場は続けるそうです。それが最大の救いだね。手術の必要がないという証明でもある。膝の水を抜いて炎症を抑える注射をするだけで済むからだ。もし怪我が本当に深刻なら、球団がバッターボックスに立たせるはずがない。彼は引き続き、DH として破壊的なバッティングを見せてくれるさ。一方で、ヤング賞への影響は避けられません。規定投球回の162イニング到達がほぼ絶望的となりました。それが俺も一番悔しいよ。翔平自身が誰よりも渇望していたからな。トロフィーケースの最後の空白を埋めるためのヤング賞。タリク、スクーバルやクリストファー、サンチェスといったライバルたち。彼らのような耐久性のある投手に対して圧倒的に不利な状況になった。しかし、チームとしての全体像、ビッグ、ピクチャーを見れば、そうだ、現実を見ようぜ。我らがドジャースは現在、西地区で首位独走中だ。2位とは14ゲーム差という、極めて安全なリードを保っているんだぞ。レーブ、ロバーツ監督とフロント陣の予防措置は信じられないほど賢明だ。無意味な試合で ERA、防御率を守るために無理をする必要はないと。その通りだ。ヤング賞のために彼の体力を限界まで絞り取るな。俺たちに必要なのは、プレーオフでの 100% 健康な大谷翔平なんだ。次のワールドシリーズの優勝リングをもたらしてくれる彼が必要なんだよ。だから兄弟、今はゆっくり休んで。父親のパワーを後半戦で爆発させてくれ。10月の死闘に大谷翔平がかけることだけは絶対に許されないんだからな。ジャーナリストやテレビの半端な専門家たちは、一体何をそんなに騒ぎ立てているんだ。本当にくだらない。ビッグユニットである俺が頭を冷やしてやろう。全米が悲鳴を上げていますが、これは過剰反応だと。当たり前だ。オールスターなんて所詮は金稼ぎのショーだぞ。身体に問題を抱えるスーパースターに大陸を横断させて、無意味な2打席のために往復させるなんて完全に狂っている。翔平は人間であり、プログラムされた機械じゃないんだ。痛みを感知させるために家族との完全な休養が必要だ。左腕として20年以上戦った視点から膝の状態をどう見ますか。左打者の翔平にとって左膝は極めて重要な軸足なんだ。スイングの際、あの巨大な体重がすべて後ろ足にのしかかり、その軸足の上で信じられないほどの超現実的なねじれが生じる。その強烈な回転力があの特大ホームランを生むのですね。もし膝の痛みが続けば、雷鳴のようなホームランを放つ、あの強烈なバットの回転力を生み出すことなんて絶対に不可能だ。だからドジャースのフロントが下した予防措置は最も賢明なんだよ。もし深刻なら、後半戦も DH で出場させるはずがないからな。しかし、規定投球回である162イニングの到達は困難になります。データ分析家たちは、ヤング賞の喪失を嘆いています。ヤング賞も162イニングも、今すぐゴミ箱に捨てちまえ。個人の賞よりも、チームの究極の目標を優先すべきだと。ドジャースは現在、西地区で14ゲーム差という大差をつけている。チームの究極の目標は何か、10月のプレーオフ、ワールドシリーズだ。無意味な試合で、個人の賞のために彼を搾取するなんてナンセンスだ。この件について、ロバーツ監督が会見で見解を語った。
All right, let's do it.
What took place with Ohtani? When did you know that he wouldn't be able to make this start tonight?
I found out yesterday morning. Kind of talking through with our guys, Shohei. He's been managing this quite well, the knee. And so if there's a chance that we could kind of be proactive and get it drained and do whatever we need to do to kind of try to manage it and along with the rest for the All-Star break, we were going to do that. And so to not put any more stress on it tonight, throwing 100 pitches. To our pitching is in a good spot coming off an off day. We've got the 4 days for the break, so everything lined up, which made sense for all of us.
What does this mean for the second half with him pitching? Does it allow him to possibly even be available for the first series in New York?
Don't know. It's not going to change anything for the second half as far as pitching. I'm not sure where he's going to be slotted in after the break. So that's something that we're going to talk through. We have plenty of time to talk through that. But, that's more opponent-driven and kind of all that stuff, looking out what makes sense. So I can't answer that right now. But as far as like overarching, I don't think it affects the second half pitching.
For him getting the knee drained, does that mean it's continued to swell up on him over the last
A little bit, but obviously the way he's swinging the bat, it hasn't really affected performance. We have certainly curtailed the stealing bases, but he feels good, obviously, and he's going to be DHing the next 3 games.
Was there any sort of new incident that sort of maybe inflamed it a little bit more?
No, this was just more of like, there wasn't. It was just more of, okay, if we have a potential opportunity to, nip this, let's do it and let's not try to add to it. So that's why how we came out of Wednesday's game with the pitching, we have enough pitching to cover and not take more of a toll going into the All-Star break was sort of the thought, the conversation, and it just made sense to everyone.
Was this a treatment plan you guys brought to him?
Yes.
Do you expect him to DH that first series out of the break?
Yes, because he's supposed to get the draining Sunday, so that gives us 4 days. So, yeah, I would assume Friday he'll be ready to go, yes.
Dave, is this one of those situations where if this is October, he's pitching?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I think that we all know kind of where we're at, who he is as a player, if there's opportunities to kind of, be extra cautious and mindful, it's just prudent, yeah.
You guys have thrown out the word kind of unprecedented with him.
What's that?
You guys have thrown out the word unprecedented a lot with him, just sort of trying to figure out how to manage him. What have you kind of learned over this first half about how some of the pitfalls and some of the good things about trying to manage this with him?
I wouldn't say there are any pitfalls. I think that me personally, I think that I've been much more open and watching wide-eyed, open-eyed to his workload and not just taking for granted that he can be a two-way player, take every at-bat, pitch like a normal pitcher. And I think that would be unfair. So I think that for me, if anything, is just kind of keep having those conversations with him, bringing them to him and saying, hey, this is what we see. This might be a different option, a better option for your best interest and our best interest. And I think that with that, he's responded really well.
He had talked about how he thinks that pitching and his mechanics there was what aggravated it. Is there anything more there that he needs to clean up to make sure that this doesn't come back after getting it drained and everything?
No, there isn't. I think that just time, I think that in not trying to re-aggravate it, I think is helpful. But yeah, he's made some little tweaks with his front foot, the landing, and I think he's done a fine job, but we all know that the last, call it 4 or 5, haven't been crisp from him. So I think that our hope is that if we can kind of not make this start, give him a full X amount of days to kind of, get the inflammation out, get strong, recover body-wise, then I think that he should be in a much better spot.
Has he gone for any further imaging or anything?
No.
For the record, his arm is fine?
Yeah, his arm's fine. His arm's fine, and yes.
So I just want to make sure, so he would be get ready to pitch in right after the All-Star break?
He is. I just don't know which day. We have 6 pitchers, so I'm not sure which day we're going to slot him in. But he will be ready in the second half, yes.
So he won't go to the All-Star game? He'll stay
He's not going to go to Philadelphia, correct. Just the flying, the altitude, the swelling with what comes with altitude and flying. So just to kind of, keep him here until we need him to get to the East Coast.
Not that this was particularly in question, but is it I don't know, does this kind of show you guys, I guess, that he's not going to is it a relief of any kind that he's not going to kind of pursue the Cy Young thing, kind kind of at all costs, right? I mean, because he had previously said, the kind of the priorities, kind of being ready for October. This kind of seems to kind of align with that. I mean, is that, because he's kind of a private guy, right? You never quite know what he's really feeling or really thinking.
Right. I think that I wouldn't say relief. I think that number one, he's always said, we've always, the goal is October, and for all of our players. With that, yeah, he's had the Cy Young in mind, and understandably so. But nothing is going to, come in front of being healthy for October. And so for him to concede and miss a start for the best interest of him and the team, that's not a surprise. And so again, those are two separate things, but number one being ready for October, and he's always kind of said that.
All that said, does he seem irritated by this?
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Could you explain what the planned interventions are?
Excuse me?
So he will some interventions on his knee.
Yeah, so it's going to get drained, and to kind of take out some of the information, and then after that, I'm not sure. I don't know if there's going to be anything to kind of, if there is any pain, that I don't know.
Is tonight going to be similar to what you had to do when Snell wasn't able to make that start in Anaheim? Is it strictly like managing this with all your relievers, or is there a bulk guy that you can go to?
No, this will be managing all of our relievers. Fortunately, the good thing is we got Yamamoto going tomorrow, so feel good about him taking down a lot of the game. But again, coming off an off day, I feel good about the guys that we have available.
The other big news in the last couple of days, just your reactions at the White House visit, what your anticipation level is for that?
Yeah, this took a long time to get both sides together, and honestly, like I've always said, my company line, my personal line is, I hope that we get this invitation every year, because that's the goal, to win a championship, to get this invitation to the White House. And I'm not a politician, and I'm doing something that teams have done for decades, and so that's where I stand, really. I'm a baseball coach. That's what I do.
What are you expecting participation-wise from your group for that trip?
You know what? I'm sure a lot of guys are going to participate and be there, and this is an individual choice, but I do expect a lot of our guys to be there.
How much, what was the discussion like just within the team kind of leading up to this, especially given like the travel logistics that are going to go into it?
I think there was a lot of unknown, and then we got word, yesterday or 2 days ago, that it was official, and then kind of it was an off day. It's an off day, and then how could we work this out logistically, and kind of a lot of phone calls, texts, and communication internally. All right, thanks, guys.
今回の決断は交代ではなく、巨大な帝国を築くための壮大な準備です。個人の栄誉を超え、チームの悲願である世界一へと向かう大谷選手。